This is Chapter 1, Concept 3, Subtracting Real Numbers Including Fractions, although we don't have any fractions in this section, but it's very similar to addition. But anytime you have two negative numbers, or negatives, right next to each other, they become a positive. So what we're going to look for is two negatives right next to each other. So here they just have a parenthesis between them. So we're going to change those to addition. So let's look for another example. So down here is one. Now a non-example would be here on number 76. Notice that we have a negative 2 and a negative 2. And there's not only a parenthesis between the negatives, but there's also the number 2. So that would be a non-example. Let's go ahead and go through this whole page and find all of the negatives that are right next to each other. Even with a parenthesis between them, that's okay, but no numbers. But let's go through and let's change all those double negatives or two negatives right next to each other into a positive. So go ahead and pause the video now and change all those negatives to positives for this whole page through number 96. Okay, this is what it should look like if you've changed all of those for this top portion. So let's go ahead and do a couple of examples here, starting with 69. So we've got our song that we're going to use. Same signs, add and keep, different signs, subtract. Keep the sign of the bigger one and then you'll be exact. So here we have, let's think of it as a positive 2 and a negative 7. So different signs. So we're going to subtract, and we always subtract the smaller from the bigger. So 7 minus 2 is 5. And then we keep the sign of the bigger one. So let's think about which one's bigger, 7 or 2. And 7's bigger, so negative 5. So for the next one, we've already changed it here. So 6 plus 6. Same signs, so just add and keep, 12. Negative 5 plus 6, different signs. So we're going to subtract. 6 minus 5 is 1, and then keep the sign of the bigger. And the bigger is 6, and it's positive, so it's positive 1. 8, so again, positive 8 and negative 3, different signs. Subtract 8. And 3, the difference between the two is 5, and the bigger sign is 8, and it's positive, so it's positive 5. Next one, again, positive 1 and 7, different. 7, subtract the 1 is 6, keep the bigger sign, and that 7 is what is the bigger, so it's a negative 6. The last one here is negative 6 and 6, they're different. One's positive and one's negative. So subtract them. 6 minus 6, oh, that's 0. And there's no sign for 0. All right, so go ahead and pause the video now and try this section 70 through 80 on your own. All right, so let's first check this section 83 through 96 and make sure that you've got all your negatives next to each other changed to positives. If you haven't, pause the video and fill those in and fix those. And then we will get started with 83 once you're ready. All right, so for 83, it helps to write these out since there's a lot of terms there. So we've got 7 positives, 7, and then we've got 3 negatives, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 more, 1, 2. So cancels, 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 and we're left with positive 2. So the next one here we have negative 7, and we can write those out. Let's go ahead and write those out. We'll see what that looks like. There's a lot of them, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we've got 2 positives. And then we've got 7 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so cancels and cancels, and then we count up our negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 12 negatives. So 3 positives here. 1, 2, 3. 2 negatives. And then 6 negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And cancels, cancels, cancels. We're left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 negatives. All right, so -4 and -7. So same signs, add and keep. And 7 and 4 together is 11 and keep. And then we're going to take that and we're going to add it to a +3. So different sides subtract. So 11 minus 3, 8. Keep the sign of the bigger. So it's -8. All right, next one. -7 and 6. Different. So subtract 7 minus 6 is 1. Keep the sign of the bigger, which is 7, and it's negative. And then add your -1 and -3 together. Same signs, add and keep. So -4. So let's go ahead and do these first. So we've got -3 and +1 different. So subtract and we get 2. And we keep the bigger sign, so that would be a negative. So we're done with that. Now let's add the -2 and the -6, same signs, add and keep. So it's -8. And then let's take -8 plus 4. So different, we subtract, and that's 4, and keep the bigger sign, so negative. And then the last one here, doozies. Add those together. Same signs, add and keep. So 8 and 4 together, 12, both positive. And then here, +12 and -1, different signs subtract. So subtract 12 and 1. We get 11. Keep the sign of the bigger one, 11, positive. And then add 4 and 11, same signs, add and keep. So 15. So go ahead and try 84 through 96. Again, take it one step at a time. It's a lot easier.